Today we're looking at a test bench manufactured by Maxpro Technologies. Its pressure range is from 60 psi to 20,000 psi. It's used to test oil field products like valves and components, hoses, anywhere from hydro testing to autofrettage to just general leak checking of components. This system requirement is 110 volt, 60 hertz, and 110 psi of air. And here's the on button there that we turn the power on. So on this system we tried to clean up the control panel and mainly have the operator concentrate on the HMI. We have the emergency shutoff here. We have an analog gauge and a system vent. And here are your air controls, but in regular testing sequence you really don't need to touch any of those. It would be all off the touch screen. And so the operator would simply come and install his test subject in the test chamber and do his necessary plumbing. And we have on this system, we have not a latch system, but it's a magnetic latch that actually latches the test chamber door down. And so the operator doesn't have to throw any switches, anything like that. It just closes and it magnetically latches when the pressure is applied to the test subject. But then the operator would come and he would go to the recipe page and he could select his test recipe. Right now it's selected on 10,000, so we'd go back to the home page and all he would have to do is hit the start button and that would start your process. So our set point is 10,000 psi and we have a 20-second dwell in this one. So we've hit set point, now we're going to dwell for 20 seconds. And at this time the PLC is looking for pressure loss, and so at the end of the test it's going to give us a pass or fail. And it gives us a pass, and those parameters can be installed at different percentages on the setup page, so you can really dial in how much pressure loss requires to get a failed test. So the operator would just come and reset that and he would be ready for the next test. So this is the home page in the HMI. So you have actually 4 buttons across here: the start, the hold, the stop, and the prefill. On this system you can direct downstream or upstream bulkheads in the test chamber itself, so that gives you some fluid direction. Like I said, this is the home page, and then the next page would be the recipe page, and this is the page that the operator would put in all his parameters and the recipe name and the part number, the final test pressure, and the dwell time. And then the trend screen is next, and that gives you an actual trend graph, pressure versus time of the actual pressure test. And you can come and periodically hit a section of this graph and actually go back to read the different pressure rating. So that's a nice feature. Now for the setup page, this is a password protected page, and this allows the supervisor to put in the necessary parameters of each pump, and we have failure timers in here, pressure decay alarm, and other components required to operate the system. But once they are entered, then the regular operator doesn't need to pay attention to that. And so we also have a manual page, and this is totally there for maintenance, but you can go in the manual mode and you can operate all 3 pumps and operate all the regulators and air valves just as a troubleshooting ability to do that. So that's a nice option there. But that's where the operator would only see the home page and the recipe page and the trend screen, those 3 pages. So also, once the test has been performed, you can go to the trend screen and you can see the trend of the actual pressure test. But also, if you want to record this, we have a USB port here, and if you put in a USB stick, it just starts recording all the pressure tests. You take it out and it stops recording. So we made it really easy for the operator to, when the stick is in, it's recording. So the system comes with 4 removable panels, and this exposes all the pumps. Ease of maintenance, these all come off. So this is the main reservoir here, and we incorporate 3 air valves along with the solenoids to run them. All the pumps are located down here with the check valves and all the relief valves. That's located on the lower portion of it. So this particular test chamber comes with 2 bulkheads, one upstream and one downstream. And this particular customer, they wanted to be able to pressurize both sides of the test subject. So that's what we've designed. So this specific system was designed for a customer in mind. They came to us with different requirements, and we met those requirements. So we are in high pressure, and we can meet your requirements too. So give us a call.